Yeah.
They check it to 10.
Ay, yeah, okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon.
Matching hundreds. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida. As a moment ago, the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Watch twist, watch twist.
This is Kenyon Drake, the fourth-year man from Alabama. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. A check on the numbers for Kenyon Drake last week. 22 carries, a touchdown to go along with 124 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
They'll run with a second-year man from ASU, Kalen Ballage. Derwin James, an all-pro as a rookie last year, up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb, because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the give, this is Drake. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Jerry Tillery in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
Boy, did they ever. There was something they talked about with...
And the pressure gets to him again. Joey Bosa providing a little... Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage.
He's got a man. Complete. It's a big play there for Miami. 41 yards.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. Running, it's Drake. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they wanted to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kalen Ballage, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run.
On the double. It's on field. It's on field. Hey, it's on around. 6 guys. Check 6.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Well-timed effort there by Derwin James, a sack from his safety position.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Ready.
On third down, Jones. And he's going to go down again. Joey Bosa picks up his second sack of the afternoon. A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. And tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, two teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That start into a double team, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown.
Ready. Mike Buck 2. It's coming this way. Here we go.
They'll start the drive with Drake. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense is
trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Thomas Davis. And he's able to get it back here. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try to put some pressure on the defense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, and it's third down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward, and his guys are going to take... Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big pickup of 38. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if
off the play fake. Jones. Wide open. It's Allen, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough. Swing the tight end.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Desmond King picks it. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be moving the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Steps away to his left. Going deep here for Stills. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Throwing Jones. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The Dolphins getting set to go here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, if something there will be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now Jones.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. Back to throw. Jones. It's caught. Stills right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Looking to throw. Jones. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Joey Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the depth. And he's got his tight end, Gesicki, in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Give him 2 yards on that play. Back to throw. Jones. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? You don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
16 yards, a first down. You cannot write the Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him. They're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Casey Hayward. Parker, the intended target. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a...
skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They Ella, they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not savings, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, flash, I never switch, you never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist,
I was legit ever since I blew they all on my hey back then didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex slick then hit with the back then used to out the zip. Blow out his back then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things pull out the VIP. Suck turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip. Crush.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Yeah. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. Yeah. I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. Yeah. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support, bruh. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winner side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Autumn has come to upstate New York, and we find ourselves at New Era Field in Orchard Park. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the Miami Dolphins. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Watch the slant. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
On second down, it's Drake. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On third and short, Drake. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Drake. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The veteran Jerry Hughes drops the hammer in the backfield.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, there's something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Lorenzo Alexander in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On first down, Drake. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Tackle made there by Matt Milano. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Tremaine Edmonds, the Bills' leading tackler, is a rookie last year, in on the stop there. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Balazs. coverage. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Jones throwing on first down. It's caught right side. It's Hearns. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Allen Hearns, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And on that one,
Here we go. 18 Gator. Hey, watch the screen,
they'll run on first down. Drake, and from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 29, Jones over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hand.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Looking to throw. Jones. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, bro?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense. Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 26-yard line. Running for the shotgun with Drake. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills, and now it's 2nd down. Now Jones off the play fake. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Come on, set. 18 Gator. Slam.
On first down, it's Drake. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check.
On 2nd down now. It's Drake, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Let's get it.
The Dolphins on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. He was looking for Parker. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Dolphins on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Jones now. Off play action. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. And to the right side here, it's Allen. 22 yards there, a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Buying time to his left. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 11 yards there, first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On first down, Jones. Flush to his right, and an alley to run. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The Dolphins on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Jones operating from the gun. And that will be incomplete. Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it. On fourth down, Jones. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. They'll run on first down. Drake. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed?
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Kalen Ballage, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
Let's go now. 50, plant. Mike, 58, right there. All day, dog. Show it up. Show it up.
On first down, it's Drake, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now Jones on first down, dancing to his left. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Let's go.
23 yards on the play.
Here we go.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Set. 30 base.
49's the mark. 49's the mark. Here we go.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jones throwing left side here, and it's complete. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Go, go. Fight.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they'll get this down to the 10. 12 yards there and a first down.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, but it's going to be second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Balaj. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Shaq Lawson's one of those guys that after a while you quit just trying to define him by a position. Defensive end, outside linebacker, doesn't matter. He knows how to get upfield and spill some plays.
So disruptive. What makes him so disruptive?
I think it's strength. If you see his upper body.
And Stills has got it. Touchdown, Miami. Kenny Stills, his 4th touchdown on the...
Ready. 8, read.
They'll run on first down. Drake. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, it's Drake. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeout?
And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him 32 on the play.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now, it's knocked away and incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
Right back to Drake. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Check three. Check three.
On second down, it's Drake. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. They'll run here with Balaj. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Back to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ed Oliver able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Yeah, they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say, that was a game-saving play.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Jones now going to throw again, and an alley to run. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Drake. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Jones off the play fake, being chased out left. Oh, he stays up. Forced out to his left. And he's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call flat.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake His third touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle.
Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for the Dolphins, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad being pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, that make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist while I point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, count it up. Hey, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him. Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist while I point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll always. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, If he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now on first down, Drake again. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Drake. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
From the gun on 3rd down. Jones. Open man, it's Allen. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches have told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
A gain there of 21 yards.
Got it. 55, Mike, 55. Hey, eat. You must be getting tired of seeing me. 10.
On first down, Drake. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down. The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Looking to throw. Jones. Eluded. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Albert Wilson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively.
On the ready. 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Cut. Check to 61. Matchbox lights. Ready.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Drake, and he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
They give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Jones. This game number 7 of the year for each of these two teams, and much of the NFL now at the halfway point of the year. I want to remind you, though, that Week 9 kicks off this Thursday night here on EA Sports. Halloween night, as a matter of fact. Charles will be dressed as a Velociraptor, and me, because I'm a fun sponge, I'll just be dressed up as a play-by-play guy in a suit as we together bring you the 49ers and the Cardinals from State Farm Stadium in Glendale.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Looking to throw. Jones. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a 1st down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd and 1, Jones. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
X3, 218, chop, lead trip.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Flushed out right. And he finds Stills, complete. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Steps away to his left. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On the toss, here's Balaj. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead.
Let's go now. 70, Indy. Check, check. Lucky. Ready?
On first down, Drake. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Looking to throw on second down. Jones looking middle, and it's incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, but now it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And out come the Dolphins now. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On second down now. It's Drake, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. The throw here caught by Devontae Parker and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same. And it'll be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Allen, the intended receiver. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending. The blitz coming, and down he goes. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep. Back over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium.
And that's caught inside the 35. That's a heck of a way to convert on third and long, and he showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And that trust was justified because he went up and got the football and converted on a down. You shouldn't. Third and long like that, that's supposed to be an incompletion at the least.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
On the left side, this is Stills. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got to have some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Dolphins on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Throwing Jones. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took the... Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now Jones. He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. He was looking to go back to Stills, but it'll be second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, It's not just catching it. It's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why I ended up having to go one-handed. But, boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now, yes, a two-possession, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenny Stills, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did it. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Now Jones, off play action. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Buying time to his left. Allen's got it over the middle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Well, apart from Kyler Murray, not too many mobile QBs in this year's rookie class, but some good scrambling there to get the first.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after him. Put the pressure on him.
Flush to his right. Touchdown, Miami. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
No. Davis from the top rope. I like it. They'll try and run with Drake, and he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Eluding the pressure right. It's caught. Stills right side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Dancing to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. The intended receiver there, Allen. And that'll make it third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment. But here, he's one that has to absorb the contact. And as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
He may try and run for this. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
Yeah, baby.
Ready. 60 outlaw. Watch twist. Recon, 132.5 now.
Now Balaj. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules remind us. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score the...
Oh, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored. That's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let a team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Miami, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaunt.
I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. I score up in the end zone, do my dance all on a hater. A mover and a shaker, you a novice, I'm a player. I'm from DC, but I'm running through and sacking like a raider. 2 chains on my neck, one for now and one for later. If we don't play fair, baby, we play for keeps. You can pass me up, this is not a bye week. I'm looking for a trophy competition, looking steep. Yeah, I'm training, I've been focused, I've been bombing from the deep. I'm like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championships. All my records go hard, it's a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Head to head with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby. Number 1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
Rick Rock. Tick-tock. West hip-hop. Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll it when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. Come on. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. Located appropriately for his career win total at 347 Don Shula Drive. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami, Florida. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we are ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the New York Jets. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line.
No.
They'll run on first down. Drake. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That's it, baby.
A check on the numbers for Kenyon Drake last week. 21 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Henry Anderson in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenny Stills, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Come on, set. 30 base.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's
shoot.
Here's Jones. Throwing on first down. Catch made right side by Wilson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
15 yards on the play, first down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Wilson. 12 yards there and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On first down, it's Drake, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. His tight end, Dwayne Allen, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Down. 70, Indy.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Down.
Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. They're able to locate Wilson. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter, as that's a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his second.
Let's put him on the buses.
Jones on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
23 yards the pickup there. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
On 1st and 10, Jones. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius.
Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. He was looking that time for Still. We remind you that coming up later tonight, we've got a good AFC battle in Baltimore. The Super Bowl champs, New England, in town to take on the Ravens. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium to wrap up this first weekend in November. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. That'll bring up second down.
Let's get that ball here. Let's get that.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And they work this out past the 25. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Looking deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Trying to get it that time to Stills, and it's 3rd and 5. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Now with 3rd. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't
rush coming, and he's taken down. Jamal Adams on the safety blitz. Too fast to handle.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 22 yards there, a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Jones being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Let's go.
We have so many different terms for 3rd down, 3rd and short, 3rd and long, 3rd and manageable. How about 3rd and medium? Because that's what this one was. The defense looked like they had him hemmed in, but he gets away, evades the rush, and picks up just enough for the first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was looking to go back to Stills, and now it's 2nd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. And Stills has got it. Touchdown, Miami. Kenny Stills with his 2nd touchdown here in this first. Now Jones on 1st and 10. It's complete. Stills. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Jones off the play fake. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So instead of fourth down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because third down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
Back to throw. Jones. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, and it's second down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete them.
They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Randy Gregory in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings... So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? There's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. C.J. Mosley gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. Throwing on second and long. Jones, he is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these
and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Randy Gregory picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 11 yards there, first down. Looking to throw. Jones. And Stills over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. He's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Back to throw. Jones to the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking to go back to Stills, but it's going to be second down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Jones now throwing again. This is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this...
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Dwayne Allen with touchdown. Jones throwing on 1st down. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Albert Wilson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins. They'll run on 1st down. Drake, and he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They stay on the ground with Drake. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The linebacker, CJ. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. So now here come the Dolphins. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he's got this down to the 35. And Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. He was brought down by Brandon Copeland.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Here's a run with Balaj. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. One of the fun parts about...
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Dolphins, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they fall 2 games under 5.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view, hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Hat on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist,